The withdrawal of opposition chief Raila Odinga from the controversial presidential rerun will cost cash-strapped NASA millions of shillings from the political party's fund. This will make it difficult to fund its ambitious national resistance movement, the Million Man March, the National People's Assembly, an economic boycott and demonstrations until legitimate presidency is restored. Rebellions cost money. Jubilee's financial war chest will be overflying. By law, only political parties with at least 5% of the total vote in the last poll are entitled to public funding. This refers to the tallies for president, members of parliament, governors and members of county assemblies. The details emerged just a day after ODM, the fulcrum of Kenyan opposition, lost a $4.1 billion case against the state. The Orange Party was demanding payment of arrears from the political party's fund accrued between 2012 and 2016. Things will even get tougher for NASA and its 4 affiliate parties if President Uhuru Kenyatta's October 26 victory stands and he is eventually sworn in. Yesterday, Registrar of Political Parties Lucy Ndungu said parties have $371.2 million to share in this financial year. Ndungu confirmed that Jubilee will benefit greatly from the October 26 presidential rerun. In fact, we had a discussion in the office and we felt that the criteria is skewed in their favor, Ndungu told the Star yesterday. She promised, however, that the money will not be dispersed until all legal avenues and challenges regarding the presidential poll are exhausted. The Political Parties Act 2011 states, the total number of votes secured by a political party shall be computed by adding the total number of votes obtained in the preceding general election by a political party in the election for the president, members of parliament, county governors and members of county assemblies. But Raila has pledged he will not allow Uhuru's sham election and coronation to stand. NASA has begun printing T-shirts for the national resistance movement, signifying the coalition could be going flat out to resist the new administration. The coalition is said to planning a 1 million man march in Nairobi early next month to kick off the rebellion. Political parties are entitled to at least 0.3% of national revenue every year. However, only 95% of the fund is distributed proportionately, by reference to the total number of votes won by each political party in the preceding general election. The rest, 5%, is retained by the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties for administrative costs. This means that Raila, who secured a paltry 73,228 votes after his dramatic withdrawal from the race, will be hugely disadvantaged in sharing of the fund. In the financial year 2014 to 2015, ODM received $137 million from the state and a further $78 million in 2015 to 2016. Through an internal coalition agreement, the money was shared with Wiper and Ford Kenya, the 2 affiliate parties of the defunct CORD. Uhuru's TNA received $158 million and $9 million, respectively, in the 2 financial years. But at that time, Raila had 24 governors and his was the single largest political party in Kenya by representation in parliament. On Monday, Uhuru was declared winner of the repeat elections with 7,483,895 votes, translating into 98.26% of the votes cast. The ruling Jubilee coalition is also privileged by an almost supermajority in the bicameral parliament and the county assemblies. The party has 171 MPs in the National Assembly and 34 senators. ODM, on the other hand, has 66 MPs in the National Assembly and 20 senators. This means Jubilee will bag most of the political party's fund. For the past 5 years, Raila bitterly complained that the government released a negligible amount to political parties and alleged this was meant to starve and cripple the opposition. The failure or refusal to disperse all the funds due to the political party undermines democracy, the rule of law, and the objectives for which the fund was established, senior counsel James Orengo argued in court. But on Wednesday, High Court Judge Roslina Borrelli ruled that she could not force the taxpayer to shoulder the arrears as ODM never demanded the money at the right time. The judge said the fund set aside from the national revenue was not a debt and thus could not be paid if it was not allocated by the National Assembly at the time. The party waited for 4 financial years to demand the money, yet it knew that Parliament had not been allocating the correct figures, the judge said. It will not be in the interests of justice or public policy for the amount to be released to the party. Before the repeat presidential polls, there were allegations that the opposition was broke and Raila and his running mate Kalonzo Musyoka turned to Kenyans for funding. NASA has already lined up a series of activities it says are part of their struggle to topple Uhuru and organize fresh elections in 90 days. The meetings, marches, People's Assembly and protests will be financially draining for the opposition. The broad-based People's Assembly, a kind of alternate parliament, will be in session until legitimate presidency is restored through a fresh legitimate election. The Assembly will spearhead what NASA calls restoration of democracy, constitutionalism and the rule of law. As part of the People's Assembly, NASA is forming a task force to study the systemic continuing failure of electoral bodies in Kenya.